Okay, this is actually the second time I'm filming this video. The first one was really rambly and I didn't feel like it necessarily best aligned with the message that I'm trying to give. So round two, let's talk about how you shape your motherhood. Guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna, and if you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4 entering our 8th year of homeschooling. And I like to come here, share homeschool life, mom life, travel life, the whole 9 yards. But specifically, I wanted to talk with you today about some of the social media trends that I'm seeing that I find a little worrisome. And I hope that by having this discussion, we can start to change the tide and maybe make motherhood as a whole a more positive experience for everybody. Guys, before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Let me start with some of the disclaimers. 1, I am hoping that I will not fumble my words and that my meaning and my intent will come across clearly. And that my message, even if I do fumble, will be received with the intent in which I intend it, and that this doesn't become a negative thing, because that's absolutely not my goal. I recognize that I am going to say motherhood a lot, but I think this is a parenthood issue. I will say motherhood a lot because that is the most of my demographic. The primary parent does tend to be the mother. I by no means limit this to that for just the sake of this video. I will say motherhood. I am also going to just say that I recognize that a lot of my viewpoints come from a place of privilege. I have racial privilege, social privilege. I will even go so far to say that I have a relationship privilege that not everyone will have, because I do have a spouse who is 100% in, doesn't actually need me to function, does an amazing job. So I just want to say that I do recognize that a lot of what I am saying comes from a point of privilege and a perspective of privilege. So this by no means is going to apply to everyone. I understand that different strokes for different folks. People are in different boats, but I think there is a larger conversation to be had surrounding the attitude of motherhood, parenthood. And so I'm hoping that we can kind of start that now. I think it's a great season to have this conversation in summer before we do start up another homeschool year, because if you're watching this, you're likely a homeschool parent. If you're watching this, you're likely the primary caregiving parent who is home doing the homeschooling. So again, I am taking a few liberties with having this conversation, and I recognize that I am doing that. So I know that it will not be 100% accurate to everyone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my disclaimer. Okay, so let's talk about you shaping your motherhood. I think there is, and I think social media makes it easy to one up the last guy, to work, to have your story be more sensational or more elaborate, or your room more beige, or it fosters and festers this negative space of comparison. And the people who are actively do it, they know that they're actively doing it, right? The people who put things on social media, I'm 100% guilty of this. I want you to believe that life isn't always easy and all of those things, but I also don't share the bad stuff because that's not something I'm gonna do. I try not to overshare as it is. I don't want to be somebody who comes on and just gives you way more information than you need, or that I want to be out in the world or to have. But it is easy, even if it's not an influencer or a micro influencer or any one of those situations, it is easy to, look at a Facebook post from somebody you went to high school with and be like, oh, they've got it together. Oh, whatever it is. And comparison is the thief of joy. In motherhood, I think it is truly dangerous to be comparing your life to someone else's that you see through a filter. You see bits and pieces on a screen. it is truly dangerous and it is doing a massive disservice. I think increasingly so, especially with things that I find problematic, the trad wife stuff, all of that. I think we are taking a turn where we are at a point, we're at a crossroads where we can right our course and make it back to something that is empowering. Or we continue down the path where if people are doing things the way we're doing it, it's not because they genuinely want to, it's because we've shamed them in some manner into doing it. And again, it is dangerous. I think it is dangerous to encourage other people to feel bad about themselves or like they're not doing enough or like, it's just become nasty. And it doesn't matter what it is that people share anymore. You have a million people who are so fast to tell them every single thing that they are doing wrong because they've chosen to live their life in a different manner. Now, if it's something is dangerous, you can, by all means, please share, okay? I'm really big on car seat safety. It always freaks me out. And so I always try to do that with just the lightest and gentlest of messages that I can to my friends and loved ones when I see something that really just makes me sweat. But I also try to stay in my lane. So I 100% believe that everybody who knows me in real life will not believe that statement that I just said, but I do try to stay in my own lane. So I have seen another trend, another push, another move to what I call Martyr Mother. And by Martyr Mother, what I mean is somebody who is so in service to their children or family or home that they, in fact, go against themselves. They become a victim and then they play up that victimization. So what I want to say on that note is that you shape your motherhood. If you, and we all evolve, guys. I've said this many times. I'm not the same person I was when I started homeschooling. I'm not the same person I was when I became a parent. I often reference today Shauna or right now Shauna because I'm not the same person that I was before. I'm not the same person when I got married. I'm not the same person I was when I became a mother. And because I am evolving as a human being, so should your motherhood or parenthood. So should that journey, because parenthood, motherhood is such a large portion of your life. It is decades long. You should be in a situation that you truly, truly enjoy. Now, I'm not saying every day is roses. I'm not saying you're not having to wipe heinies and deal with diapers or sore nipples from breastfeeding. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that is a season, okay? And it is also not your whole motherhood. It's something you're doing that time for that period of time. But your motherhood should be something that you enjoy. And if your motherhood or household or wifeness or partnerness or spouseness or whateverness has come to a place where you are not enjoying yourself, if it's not something that you look forward to, I'm not saying you have to look forward to it all the time. That's unreasonable, okay? It's natural to not always love the people you're with, or love them but not like them. What I am saying is if you have realized that you are the only person who does every chore, if you are the only person who does every child-related task, if you are the only person who does every single thing related to your homeschool, if that is not the way that you want it to be, you have the power to demand change both of yourself, because you have to remember that this is a pattern that you've allowed yourself to get into or be pushed into. You have to demand of yourself change, and you have to demand change of those around you. Now, I'm not saying that today you can be like, tomorrow you show up and you're like, I will never do another chore, because that is the worst. What I am saying is that your house, your home, every aspect of parenthood and home life is collaborative. So if your kids aren't contributing to chores, it is time to get them to start. And I do not care how young they are. If they can walk and talk, they can pick up after themselves, okay? You don't even have to talk. They can walk, they can move around, they can start picking up after themselves and helping out. If you have young children, they can help with dishes, pets, all kinds of things. I am going to tell you, if you don't like the course that your life is going on, this is such a large part of your life, please work to find your joy. Parenthood should be a joy. Your children are going to model their future lives, their relationships, their marriages, their parenthood, the things that they choose to do, the way they run their homes, their ability to keep up with the daily chores. They're going to model that after what they've learned from you in your home. So what you want to do is you want to be able to look them in the eye and say, you know what, if you had a marriage just like mine, I would be happy for a million years. If you had a parenthood journey just like mine, I would be happy for a million years. I say this all the time. Every new age that my girls get to is my favorite, but this was extra put to me yesterday. We went to the water park, just the three of us. We just drove down to Galveston, about an hour's drive. We had a wonderful day. Crowds were low. The water temperature was perfect. And I recognized that we are so far out of survival mode as parents. And keep in mind, my youngest is 8. We are on the backside of so many hard seasons of life that it is to a point where, and I have loved them and they have been fun. And again, every stage of life has been my favorite, but this one is fun. This one is enjoyable. This one is easy. This one is where they help pack for things. They can apply their own sunscreen. I have found, and increasingly so much joy in parenthood. I want others to feel that. And it's little things, guys. It's not, it's not a trip to the water park. It's the fact that they fold the clothes. It's the fact that somebody helps me clean a toilet. If your parenthood journey, your motherhood, your life, it's such a big part of it, of every day, so many hours of every day, and it's so many weeks of every year, and so many years of your whole life. If it's not what you want right now, your hand is on the steering wheel and you can course correct. And you can do this with micro steps, little bits. If you're not feeling great, start eating a little bit better. If you're not feeling great, if you don't have low energy, start working out a little bit. If you need to take things a little bit easier in your homeschool life, make it a few more video lessons. I want you to live a life that is fulfilling to you, not for you. I like you, you're great, I'm glad we're friends. But for the next generation, I don't want to keep having to have this conversation. I don't want our girls to be in a place where they feel like if they are not 100% in service to everybody they live with all the time, then they are less than. I need you guys. You, me, together, we're going to step up. We're going to live a life that is good, fulfilling, and happy. Again, it's not always all roses, okay? Sometimes things suck, all right? But what we can do is recognize the role and the power that we have, because we do. We do have power in these situations, and we have more power than we think. You're not a victim to your circumstances here. And I'm not saying that's always the case. But what I am saying is there is a way to find joy in this journey, this parenthood journey, this wife journey, this life journey. There is a way to find joy, and I want you to find it. So if there is something that's going on, and this is always a hot button topic, okay? Let them fold the clothes. Okay? If they do it wrong, I'm gonna say it every single time. Done is better than perfect, because perfect doesn't get done. Okay? So have them helping with the floors. And guess what? If they help with the floors today and it's absolutely terrible, if they're still helping with the floors in 3 months, it is much better. So it will be hard. The period of transition will be difficult. It will be very hard for everybody to learn. I suggest printables, check marks, and dry erase markers. It will be so hard for everybody to get on board with this new way of life, but I promise you, it will be a new way of life. Guys, I hope that you heard my intent. I do recognize my privilege in many aspects of this, but you can find joy wherever you are. I hope that you receive this with a manner of inspiration that says, you know what? There is a thing that I'm dreading, that I'm hating, that I'm not wanting to do, or I have fallen into that constant victimization, that feeling like I need to be saved from my life. This is it, guys. You just get the one. I hope that you receive this in the manner I intended it. Guys, again, don't forget that done is better than perfect, because perfect doesn't get done. You are a team player, okay? If you have any family at all, I'm not saying you've got a spouse, but if you've got kids, someone else at all, you are a team player, and it is important to teach those other people on your team how to contribute to the end goal, because my home, I say this all the time, this is not my job, okay? This is not my job. I do this because I love them. I do this because I want to be in service to my home and to my family, but I will not do it alone. So they've got to be pitching in when I need them to. And I'm not saying it's a ton, but like if there's one thing that you absolutely hate, I will wash 5 sink loads of dishes by hand before I unload a dishwasher. I hate unloading the dishwasher. Because of that, my husband gets up and does it for me every morning. Not for me, for our home. We run it every night and he unloads it every morning and I don't have to do it. And it's amazing because I hate doing the job. Just like he hates dusting. If it were up to him, we would never dust, ever. He hates dusting. That is the thing that we trade off, and it's a good team and it's a good partnership. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I am truly, truly interested to hear. Feel free to shoot a DM if you don't want to post publicly. But have you found yourself falling into Martyr Mother, victimization from your own life? Have you found something that you changed, that you tweaked, that just brought you joy, more joy in your everyday life? I would genuinely love to hear it. Love to hear ideas. Love to hear whatever it is. Maybe it's self-care. Maybe you started journaling. Maybe you bought more expensive tea bags for a fancy cup of tea. I don't know what it is, but please share because we need ideas. Because there are too many people out there merely surviving and not thriving. And I want us thriving, not for us, but for the next generation to know life is good. Life is so good. And it can be an absolute joy.